Hi all and welcome to today's tutorial. The goal of this tutorial is to provide a step-by-step guide for organizations interested in buying and selling environmental assets on the BEF platform. As always, if you have any questions or want to talk to a member of our team about this further, then go to our website, which is www.thebef.org, and schedule a meeting. A quick note before we get stuck in. To use the marketplace, you need to have first registered an account on the BEF platform and have passed our due diligence checks. We're going to start this tutorial by looking first at the marketplace from the perspective of a seller. Listing assets for sale on the BEF platform can take place through two different ways, depending on where the assets are currently recorded. If you have assets not recorded on the BEF registry, then you need to first request to deposit those assets onto the BEF platform. To submit your request, log into your account and then navigate to the Sell page. And then click the Get Started button. You'll then be asked to input details on your assets and submit them for review. This enables our team to assess your assets and their eligibility to the BEF platform. Once received and provided your request has been accepted, you'll be notified via email. Now log into your BEF account and navigate to your homepage, where you'll see in the menu a new tab called My Deposits. Click on this. You'll then see your deposit request. Click on the Transfer Details button to view the registry details for the BEF holding account in the respective registry. You'll need to transfer your assets to this account in order to record them on the BEF platform. This is to prevent double spending of units. Now you can withdraw your assets back to your registry account at any time. Now once you have transferred your units to the relevant holding account, our team will confirm the transfer and will permit you to record the assets on the BEF platform. To do this, navigate to the My Deposits tab again on your homepage and then click the Deposit button. You'll then be asked to input your password and your PIN. Whilst the process is executing, do not refresh your page. And there you have it. You've deposited assets onto the BEF platform. Now navigate to the My Assets tab to view them. And there you go. The 10,000 assets are now available in our account. Again, if you want to withdraw these back to your registry account, click the Withdraw button and go through the process. Once assets are recorded on the BEF platform, users can view them in the My Assets tab, and provided they haven't already been listed for sale, they can see this button right here. If they still want to sell them on the BEF platform, click the List Assets for Sale button here. You'll then be asked to outline how you'd like the assets to be sold. In this case, I'm going to have a minimum accepted price. I'll then click the Save and Continue button, and then I'm going to be asked to input a minimum accepted price. In this case, I've put $5. Now, this price will increase once live by 1.5%, and the reason for this is this enables BEF to take our commission if any transactions are successful. Now, you can't actually edit the quantity side, the quantity amount, and this is based on how many you currently have available in your registry account. Now, don't worry, how it works is buyers will submit bids to purchase different quantities of your assets, and you have complete control over which bids you accept based on their quantity and their price. Once I'm happy with this, I can then click Save and Continue. Now, I've pre-populated these beforehand and I've just used generic text. However, you want to be providing a detailed summary of the project and also the project background. And the reason for this is it's going to be the core marketing material behind your assets. Now, once you're happy with these, click the Save and Continue button. Likewise, you want to provide details on the benefits and impact of the project as well. This is going to be really valuable in selling your project and the assets that it's generated. Again, I've just used generic text, but you want to add real customization to this as well. Once you're happy, click the Save and Continue button. You then have an option to select the SDGs that the project has helped achieve and is aligned to. Now, you can select as many SDGs as you want, as long as they're relevant. And once you've selected them, you'll be asked to provide rationale or evidence for that SDG. In this case, we've selected SDG 8 and SDG 15 and provided a brief bit of rationale behind those. Once we're happy with these, we click Save and Continue. Now, there's the other section, which is how will the funds be used? Now, the purpose of this section is to provide buyers clarity as to what revenue from the sale of those assets will be used for. Will it be reinvested into the project? Will it be distributed to local communities? It's this kind of information, again, which really helps sell your assets to buyers. You'll then be asked to also upload photos of your project. And again, this provides real visual content to showcase your project and add that additional level of customization. Once we're happy with these, we then click the Save and Continue button. What we'll then see is a summary of all the information that we've uploaded, the SDGs again. And once we're happy with those, again, if we want to, we can go back and we can edit the content we've submitted. We highly recommend for this that you create a lot of this content on a Word document, for example, and then paste it in for simplicity reasons. But once you're happy and you're at the confirmation page, you need to first select that you've all the information submitted is accurate and that you are happy with the terms and conditions. But again, please read this text in detail, and also that you confirm acceptance of the BEF platform terms and conditions. Click this link here to view these. And again, we highly recommend that you read these before continuing. Once done, click Save and Continue. You'll then be asked to input your password and then click Submit. And while this process is taking place, don't refresh your page. And there you have it. You've created the listing for your assets. Now, this isn't currently live. You need to launch the listing. To do that, click on Launch Listing. So we're now on the launch page for our listing. So as I said, it's currently not live, but this is also the page where if you want to make any edits to your listing, whether it's live or not, this is a place to do it. And here we can see all the information we've currently submitted, including the summary. Again, we can edit this, the benefits, impacts, SDGs, use of funds, images, and so forth. Now, if you've edited any of these, what's key is that you need to click the Save button to make sure that those changes have been recorded. Here we can see, again, if we go in the images, we can see the images that we selected. If we want to delete these images, we just need to click the little cross button up here. But there's also an option to upload more photos by clicking this button here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, what we can see is that the price has increased from the $5 to $5.07, and that's because we've increased the price by 1.5% to accommodate BEF's commission. Now, if you want to edit the price, then you want to click this button here, and then you can input the new value you'd like to sell them for. As with everything though, remember to click the Save button so that these changes have been recorded. And as I said earlier, any value you put in here, whether it's $10, it's 25, or any value, to be honest, this will increase by 1.5% once you save it. Now, when I'm happy with all the information around my asset listing and I want to go live, I then need to click the Launch Listing button here and then input my password. Once ready, click Submit. And there you have it. Our listing is now live. Now, to view this, we can click on the View Listing button here. Now, this has taken us to the dedicated marketing page for our listing. And here we can see the images we've uploaded, the SDGs, and the details we've provided as well. Now, obviously, if you have more images than uploaded, then there'll be more that you can see, and you can click these buttons here to change them. There's also a disclaimer, which when clicked will take you down to the bottom and just provide some key disclaimer information for interested buyers. Now, because we're the seller, we can't input any quantity to purchase, obviously, because we can't purchase from ourselves. But this will be a different viewpoint if you're a buyer. There will be an option to input the price and the quantity that they would like to bid for. The asset listing also has, you can view the location of the project in a map. So if we click here, we can see where the project occurred. And also we can view the details on the project in the registry as well. So because this asset in particular was deposited, this will actually take them to the link in the external registry, which was provided on the initial deposit request. So now we've gone through the basic stuff for a seller. We're going to jump over and look at the marketplace from the perspective of a buyer, and then come back to the seller standpoint when actually accepting bids. So now I'm going to look at the marketplace from the perspective of a buyer. So I've logged into a different account, and what I'm first going to do is navigate to the marketplace and the buy page here. Now this is going to provide a summary of all the live assets that are currently listed. And here we can filter based on price, the standard, project type and listing, but also search for specific names. Now here we can actually see the asset listing recently submitted and launched by our seller. And we're going to click view to see more details. So now we're on the dedicated page for this asset listing. Now, as a buyer, you can now see that I have an option to input the price and the quantity I'd like to purchase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the price the same, but I'm going to request to purchase 100 of these assets. Once I'm happy, I'm going to click the go to checkout button here. Now in the checkout, I can see a summary of the transaction value. So I can see the price and the quantity. Now I can actually change these values, and we'll see the change in that order value here as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to change the price to $5.50, and I'm going to try and purchase just 100. Now you might have noticed at the very beginning from the homepage of the buyer, but they had a total number of USD available of 9,280. So what we should see is if this transaction is completed, that reducing by $550. Now, once I'm happy with this order, I then click the accept. So I accept the BEF terms and conditions and then click place order. This will then take me to a summary page where I need to input my password and my PIN. Once ready, I then need to submit the bid. Now, whilst this is going through the process, do not refresh the page. And there you have it. Our bid has been submitted and the seller has been notified. So if we go back to our homepage and go to the My Balance tab, we can see that our US dollar balance has decreased by 550. And then if we look at the My Ask and Bids tab, we can see the bid for this asset here. Now, if we want to cancel this bid for any reason, what we need to do is click this cross here and then input our PIN and confirm that we wish to cancel it, of which doing so will completely cancel that bid and make it void. In this case, we want to keep it there. I'm then going to head over to the seller again so that they can accept this bid and we can finalize this transaction. So now I'm back on the seller account and I'm on the homepage, and what I'm going to do first is just look at the My Balance tab so we can remember the current balance in terms of US dollars before accepting a transaction. So here we've got a starting balance of $168,531.77. Now, if we then go down to the My Listings tab, this summarizes the current listing. So we can view the listing in its live format. We can also edit it here, but also delete that listing as well. Now, a quick note for any buyers out there that if an asset listing has been deleted, then upon login on your next time, if you have any pending bids with that asset listing, they are automatically cancelled and the USD funds are transferred back to your account. Until accepted, whilst in this current bid form, they are held in a secure escrow account on our blockchain. Now, as a seller, if there's any bids for my assets, there will be a section called current bids that pops up in this section, and we can see all the bids that have been submitted for this asset. Now, in this case, we've only got one bid from the buyer that we've just been with. So as a seller, if I'm happy with the price and quantity that they've submitted, I can then click the accept button here. I'll then be asked to input my PIN and confirm that I accept this bid. And once I'm happy with it, I can then click the accept bid button here. Now, whilst this is processing, this will accept the bid and the US dollars and the assets will be automatically swapped between the two accounts. And there you have it. The transaction is now complete. So if we go to our My Assets tab now, I'm going to scroll down and find the specific asset which I'm trying to sell. And there we have it. So we've just sold 100 and now we can see that our balance has been updated. So it's decreased by 100. And if we go to our balance, we should see an increase in USD. There we have it. So what this has done is it's accepted the bid. The buyer has now received these assets and the seller has now received the USD. Now, this isn't 100% $550 because it's minus the BEF commission. Now, as a seller, I can also see all my transaction history as well. So if I click the transaction history tab here, I can then see the number of sales I've done, the number of retirements, transfers, and also purchases. Now, if I go to view my sales history, and this will take us to a page which summarizes our sales history, as you can imagine. So we can see all the sales over time. The sales per asset, so we can see that the vast majority of our sales have been with a different asset, and we can see a small number has been with that tutorial example asset. You can see the total number of sales, total number of units sold, but also the specific transactions as well. Now we can filter this based on name, and here we can actually see our most recent transactions. So we can see that we sold 100 units at a value of $550 to this buyer. So to see both sides of the transaction, I've also headed back to the buyer's account. Now, if we then go to the My Assets tab, we'll then see the 100 assets and units that are available now in our account to see the transactions completed. Our USD amount hasn't changed because this is withdrawn from the account in an escrow account when you submit the bid. But again, if you ever cancelled your bid before it was accepted, this would go back to its original number pre-bid. If we go to the bid section, we can see that our bid is no longer there because it's been accepted. And if we go to the transaction history tab, we can see that we've had 3 purchases, 3 separate different purchases, but let's view our purchase history just to confirm the transaction details as well. So here we have our purchase history tab, and here we can see the details of the various different purchases. And there we have it. We've purchased 100 units of the tutorial example asset at a value of $550 to the seller, which was the Tree Company. We can see the date and also the transaction ID. Now, you can use this transaction ID to delve even deeper into the transaction. To learn out how, visit the Block Explorer tutorial, and that will show you how to use this transaction ID to delve even deeper into transactions on the BEF platform.